push it back too, because you've got the West Coast audience. At 5:08, everyone's going to be in their car. It's going to be great for the radio ratings here. Man, it was cool this weekend going to this. I mentioned this pancake house I take my son Henry to most weekends. And there's always a line. It's always 20 or 30 minutes or an hour to whatever. We sit down. It kind of looks down at the water. It's beautiful. It's sunny. The vibe was different. And I couldn't figure out what was going on until I realized, because you've got probably, I don't know, 40 people at any given time sitting around waiting to get tables, just kind of chilling. I would say of the 40 people, maybe 12 of them were Yankees fans or Yankees caps on. It was kind of, the LA New York thing is kind of cool, man. Like, the vibe was cool. A bunch of New Yorkers obviously flew out because I could hear them talking about, we should walk down and take a look at the water and the beach. It's amazing. What's the weather like in New York right now? What's the weather going to be like tonight?
I was in the high 50s this morning. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, probably be similar, once the sun goes down late at night.
Not one of these, not 40s.
No.
Where it gets real cold.
I don't think we're getting that cold.
I like it. All right, I like it. I'm gonna double TV this thing, but I'm probably gonna go.
No.
Probably gonna go big TV. Did I tell you that Lori's trying to get rid of the little TV? She doesn't like it.
Just doesn't like the way it looks, or she's
it's
distracted?
Got the big TV on the up on the furniture thingy, and then I got the little TV on the ground. She doesn't like it. Also, half the time I'll just put the other game on my laptop and just have it on my lap so I can kind of look up, look down, right? But I haven't really seeded yet the ground on this. Am I out of town? Time? I'm not out of town. That's it?
That's it.
Tom, do you want to come watch Beyond the Arc in about 8 minutes? I got an hour of content I'm going to do over on YouTube.
Sure, why not? I'll be eating my lunch.
Tweet it out. Talk about the... Man, ain't going well for Doc Rivers, bro. What's worse, losing to the Nets or losing to the Patriots? I'm not sure. Tough call. I love Aaron Rodgers, Doc Rivers. No, I don't. All right, thank you for listening. Thank you to Ephraim Salam. Thank you to Pretty Daddy. Very nice to me. Still my guy. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm Bill Ryder. See you back here tomorrow on Ryder Than You.
Did you know that 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, their professional parts people can help you find the best superstar battery for your vehicle and budget. So make sure your vehicle is ready for the weather ahead by getting your battery tested for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
This is Dr. Christopher McDowell from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's time for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experience and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
Pirate Towing is now the exclusive towing partner for East Carolina Athletics. Pirate Towing has over 20 years of experience, open 24/7, and they can always assist you. Don't be stranded and wait for hours. Pirate Towing offers all roadside assistance to come give you a tow or jump start on game day or any day. Save Pirate Towing in your phone today and let the stress of car trouble go down. Pirate Towing, 955-4670. That's 955-4670, and also on Facebook. Pirate Towing, the preferred towing partner with ECU and Pirate Nation.
Pirate fans, East Carolina tips off the 2024-25 basketball season soon, so now's the time to purchase your season tickets. High-flying senior R.J. Felton leads the charge on the men's side, while Farmville native Mimai Joyner looks to lead the women back to the NCAA tournament. Men's season tickets start as low as $125, while the women are just $45. Go to ECUPirates.com or call 800-DIAL-ECU to purchase your tickets today.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
Public Pirate Notice on a Discount Mattress and Furniture. Fresh start with a new coach with a new winning attitude. These are your Pirate discounts. Only Discount Mattress and Furniture. Computer desk regular $200, now $79. Queen mattresses regular $700, now $295. Dinettes regular $500, today $200. Only Discount Mattress and Furniture. Well, winning is not everything. It's the only thing, and I'll see you there.
Backed by popular demand, Jimmy John's invites you to get reacquainted with a couple of summertime classics. Dig into the Caesar chicken wrap with seasoned chicken, Parmesan cheese, lettuce, tomato, and Caesar dressing. Or turn up the heat with Jimmy John's Thai chicken wrap and top it off with their fabulous new fudge chocolate brownie. Don't forget Jimmy John's loyalty app with a free sandwich after your first visit. Jimmy John's in Greenville and Wilson and online at jimmyjohns.com.
Pirate Radio is excited to announce that Inky Johnson will be the 2025 Leadership Luncheon Speaker on Monday, March 17th.
A team doesn't just play together, a team trusts each other. But how do you create trust? It's all good when it's all good, but we all know adversity, opposition, and a challenge is coming. And that's when a person's mentality is tested. That's when the words that we say are tested. That's why my definition of commitment is staying true to what you said you would do long after the mood that you said it in has left.
For Inky Johnson sponsorship information, contact Mark at pirateradio1250.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sug, Bojangles, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show. East Carolina knocks off the Temple Owls for homecoming, 56-34. So this is a victory Monday. And joining us live in the studio for about 45 minutes or so is Damon Magazu, the safeties coach at East Carolina. Felt pretty good on Saturday, didn't it?
Absolutely. Felt good to get a win for those guys and the seniors and, just keep taking it one day at a time.
What a crazy week it was. We're going to revisit all of that with Damon Magazu and talk Pirate football the rest of the way when our show continues right after this.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers. Join us today for
big, juicy wings.
All season long at Tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers, with 2 locations in Greenville and on Railroad Street in Winterville.
Pirate Water Wicked Tea is here. Set sail for the next Pirate Water adventure. Barstool's best drink is back with delicious Wicked Tea. A strong, smooth, uncarbonated brew flavor with hints of lemon. It's the toughest tea to take on the high seas. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find the new Pirate Water Wicked Tea in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
21 and older, please drink responsibly.
It's spooky season, Greenville, and you know what that means. Time to grab your costume at Halloween Express. This is Lisa with Halloween Express, and we are now open for our 26th year in Greenville. We are located at 1400 Charles Boulevard on the corner of Charles Boulevard and 14th Street beside the Jolly Roger. We have Greenville's biggest selection of Halloween costumes for adults and kids. Halloween Express has everything you will need to make your Halloween frightening and fun. We are open 7 days a week. Halloween Express.
Hey, Pirate Nation. This is Brian Buck with Buck Insurance Agency. This season, when you attend your favorite sporting event, take the game day pledge. If your team is playing, win or lose, support your team to the end of the game. When you leave early, you risk missing your favorite athlete making the play of their career. When our family buys a ticket, we always plan to stay to the very end. Take the game day pledge this season with Buck Insurance Agency. Play to the end, stay to the end.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Pirate Radio. We are the local station you love. Anytime, anywhere. On air and on digital. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Victory Monday for East Carolina. Pirates with a big win, 56-34 over the Temple Owls. The Pirates have this Saturday off, which will be very nice, playing again next Thursday, a week from this Thursday, against the Owls of Florida Atlantic, a Black Thursday for East Carolina. You're already ready for it with the black shirt on, so Damon Magazu is our guest. We'll take your questions, comments on our Facebook Live page, our YouTube page. Just jot them down. I'll get them to the coach. First of all, last week was one you'll never forget, will he?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, in this business, you just got to take it day by day and surround the kids and try to push them in the right direction, both on the field and off the field.
How did you find out that there was a change in the leadership in the football program? Was it social media? Did somebody call you?
You know, we found out as a full staff.
Good.
And, you know, we were able to, you know, be there together and hear the news. And then we were able to get to the team, you know, later on and, you know, put a plan together as far as how to move forward.
Everybody thinks that Blake Harrell did such a good job, which he really did last week. That has to be a tremendous challenge. And I talked to him a couple of times. You know, it's one of those things that this whole staff is close with Mike Houston because Mike Houston brought you guys here, and you don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody. But on the other side, you know, you have to roll with the punches. You guys didn't make the decision. It was made by the higher-ups, and so you have to keep going. And the plan is to win as many football games as you can, especially for these seniors, and Blake did a great job, you know, getting all that groundwork done for all of that.
Absolutely. He did a phenomenal job all week, you know, handling it and really just put the focus on the seniors and the players and how to put a plan together to best suit them and the group that we have. And I thought the players responded as far as keeping the main thing. And they had a great week of practice with the right mindset and, you know, really kind of stuck together and leaned on each other.
And, you know, we've seen this so many times in the past in sports history. You know, a coach, you know, gets fired, somebody steps up, and all of a sudden, you know, the little things, you know, they start to mesh a little bit, and they find lightning in a bottle, and they really, you know, because sometimes there's just a little thing that can get you a little bit off, and, you know, nobody can put a finger on it, but it's just one of those things that happens in sports.
It is. It's sometimes you just need a little energy on the sideline from your brothers and celebrate together. And sometimes you need a little help from the football gods, that football's not round. It bounces certain ways sometimes. And, the biggest thing that, we're extremely proud of our guys is how they stuck together, how they came with the right mindset to work all week.
I thought, and Coach Logan used to say that all the time. He'd say, that's why that ball's not round, because you can never tell what's going to happen. And it takes some funny bounces, and it took some bounces the Pirates' way on Saturday. I said this to Blake after the game, that I thought the first couple of plays that Temple ran on offense on Saturday was kind of like a little foreshadowing of things to come, because you guys almost had 2 picks in 2 plays right there, didn't you?
We did early on. I mean, some guys got some hands on the football and, didn't come down with them. But that's why you keep playing the next play. You don't let the last play, whether it's, positive or negative, affect the next one.
And the other thing is, I think that this team showed some resilience, getting down and then just coming back. And I think the most important, plays of the game were obviously at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. So at the end of the first half was the long pass for the touchdown. And when you get the ball with that many seconds left, sometimes you're like, let's just take a knee, get out of here, be conservative. But the Pirates weren't conservative, were they?
Absolutely not. I mean, a big focus is dominating the middle 8, which is the last 4 of the first half and the first 4 of the second half. And I think our guys did a phenomenal job of just going out fighting and trusting their keys, their eyes, and playing together.
And Rajay is to start the second half. And he had a big run in the first half, had that big run in the second half to start the second half. And I think that kind of set the tone, because he broke 4 or 5 tackles, and he looked like the Rajay of old.
When you see a physical running back breaking tackles and, kind of high-stepping guys and pushing forward, I mean, it brings a different energy, not just to the offense, but the defensive guys, the specialists, as we're all watching the game. So that O-line and running back room, they did a fantastic job this past weekend.
And then Rajay cashed it in for the touchdown that kind of separated the 2 teams. But, man, he had a huge smile on his face. He wanted that touchdown, didn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at him and his character and the type of young man that he is, and to see him have success on Saturday, it's awesome.
And really, the homecoming crowd wasn't a huge crowd, but it was a very noisy crowd, a crowd that was really into the football game. And I think they were all rewarded with a nice Pirate effort in that one.
They were rowdy, and we appreciate all the support. Again, Pirate Nation is best. Best in the conference, top tier in the entire country. And so we always appreciate all the support for those young men.
When you guys were celebrating on the sideline after the game was over, how much of it was a relief that, hey, we got through the week, we got a big win, and we can take a deep breath now because we don't play this Saturday, kind of rest a little bit, and then get ready for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much a relief, but more of, a sense of pride. As far as, as coaches, how proud we are of the seniors and the men, and again, how they just attacked the week. And, to watch them have success on the field and do it together, it brought out a lot of pride in us as a whole team.
Did it start last Sunday when you guys got back together, on the field? Because I know you do a little bit on Sunday. You take Mondays off, and then your big work days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But did it start on that Sunday, or was it more maybe the Tuesday?
I think it kind of started on Sunday, as far as you really got to lean into each other and rally behind one another. And I think that's when that piece started. And then the energy and juice on a Tuesday practice, a Wednesday practice, and it carries over to Saturday. I mean, what you do in practice matters, not just X's and O's wise, but the energy and effort that you give, and you saw it on Saturday.
As a young coach, is there anything in your past you could kind of draw back on that, hey, you've seen something similar to this before?
There's a handful of instances, especially, growing up and watching my dad go through.
He went through some stuff, didn't he? Yeah.
And, he and I, talked a lot about it as far as, as he was going through things. And, obviously wish I was able to call him on Sunday. But I was able to kind of draw back from all those conversations that he and I had, and kind of, put that experience that he went through his time and apply it to this one.
What do you remember most about, his career when you were growing up?
Oh, the most I remember is actually not really the football piece, but just going into the office, me and my brothers, going in the office and hanging out with him, being in the locker room with the players and stuff after the game, and just always watching him coach on the sideline, whether it was practice or a game. Just the energy he brought, the detail that he brought, and those were always the best memories.
Yeah, that's got to mean a lot to you when you think back to it.
It does. It does.
That's really cool. Damian Magazu, safeties coach at East Carolina, is our guest after a big Pirate win. Pirates with the Thursday night game coming up. As we said, it's a Black Thursday, a week from this Thursday. Do you like those Thursday games?
I do. And I know Pirate Nation is going to show out, and there's going to be a lot of buzz, and I'm really excited to get prepared and watch our guys run around and play.
And we got back-to-back Thursday games. You got the game against Florida Atlantic here, and then the next Thursday, you guys get on a plane on Wednesday and head to Tulsa, Oklahoma to take on the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa that next Thursday. So you got a lot of Saturdays coming up that are off Saturdays. That's good for you, good for the family too, I would think.
Yes, sir. And, Coach Harrell's done a good job of, allowing us maybe a little extra time with our families. I've gotten to put Zaya to bed a handful of times, which is nice, even if she's cranky, and, spend some more time with Danica and Brittany once we get Zaya down for bed, because she's crazy. She's all over the place.
So you got 3, right?
Two.
Two. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep. Me and Brittany have Danica. She's 12, and Zaya, she's about 14, 15 months now.
That's right. So. I knew you had the young one. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to put you 3 yet. That might put you over the top.
Give me a little time, brother. Give me a little time.
A little time is right. All right, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back with Damon Magazu and continue getting you set for Florida Atlantic a week from Thursday. Touch on some other areas with the safeties coach at East Carolina, Coach Mags, after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. In the Canadian Football League, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeated the Montreal Alouettes 28-27 with a walk-off field goal to clinch the top spot in the West Division. Former ECU great Stanley Bryant plays for Winnipeg. Tyler Sneed plays for Montreal. He had 8 catches for 60 yards. Winnipeg advances to this weekend's semifinals in the race for the Grey Cup. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
Where do you find the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Eastern North Carolina? It's DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com is a combination of 4 dealerships in Eastern North Carolina with a fully stocked inventory of over 200 SUVs, trucks, and cars. If you're looking to upgrade your vehicle or purchase for a new driver in the house, get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 47 years.
Let me show you what goes on behind the scenes when making a Shaq-a-Roni. We created Shaq-a-Roni my way, an extra large pizza topped with extra cheese and extra pepperoni. It's a simple recipe. We take everything you love, then we build it bigger. Pizza gets bigger when you Shaq-a-Roni.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Do life stresses have you feeling exhausted? Do your golf, tennis, and workouts have your body aching? If so, Kairos Float and Wellness Studio has your solution. Come visit us at 2800 East 10th Street and try our services like our float therapy, which is a private pool containing a saturated solution of Epsom salt that allows you to float effortlessly for ultimate relaxation and therapy. At Kairos Wellness Studio, we also have an infrared sauna, cold plunge, and salt and halo therapy that will leave your body feeling relaxed and healed. Contact us today at kairosfloats.com. Kairos Float and Wellness Studio. Restful intentions.
Pirate football is back, and the only way to dress for game day is to visit UBE or pirateware.com. UBE has all your game day apparel, such as polos, tees, hats, and jerseys. UBE also has all the merchandise to keep your tailgate undefeated. Pirate flags, decals, face tattoos, and more. And for your little pirates, visit our Crow's Nest with Pirate Nation's largest selection of youth apparel. UBE has special hours on Sunday after home games, open from noon till 5. And you can visit pirateware.com anytime. UBE, where every day is game day.
G'day, this is Luke Larson, punter for the ECU Pirates, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Damon Magazu, safeties coach from East Carolina, is our guest live in the studio. We've got him until about 12:45 before he has to run over to ECU's campus and the staff meeting, or all the stuff that goes on over there, especially during game week. It's really, really busy, really, really important. This is a little bit different because you guys, had a rare day off yesterday, didn't you?
We did, and so it was got to lean back and relax a little bit and be around the family and take a step away, and it was good.
It's one of those things that we talk about families with coaches, and the coaches' wives are so vitally important to the family structure. And I don't think they get nearly, I know they get one trip to go on. I think it was the Army trip this year.
Yes, sir.
But they get one trip to go on. But the role that they have, because during football season especially, they are mama, daddy, disciplinarian, everything that goes on in that family structure is the wife, because of the role that you guys have.
You're exactly right. I mean, they are absolutely amazing, all of them, that they can handle all of those responsibilities and allow us, to spend all the hours that we do at work with the staff and players. And I can't say enough about all the coaches' wives and mothers out there that handle everything at home as soon as we walk into fall camp.
See, I teed it up for you so you can get some brownie points with the wife.
I appreciate the layup.
Because I know very firsthand that you need as many brownie points.
I need all that I can get.
I need them too. That's exactly right. Pirates with the big win over the Temple Owls, now 4-4 on the season. And the record's not what you guys would want, but you've got so many games still to play. I mean, I think fans are quick to rush and say, it's not going to be a great season, not going to be this. But you guys, have a possible bowl game in your future, have a possible winning record in your future. I mean, but I think Blake's done a great job of starting it. I think all you guys have kind of bought into it. Hey, it's nothing we can do about the rest of the games, nothing we can do about all those games, but we have to take it one game at a time. Next up, FAU.
Yeah, and you hit the head on the nail. Is one game at a time. Just worry about winning today, even though it's a bye week, right? And so having that focus to win today, whatever we can do to get 1% better, and then the cards will fall. And I think we'll be happy when we look up and we look at the big picture, that there's a lot of still stuff for us to go out and win.
Yeah, and I think fans are guilty of the coulda, shoulda, woulda type thing. And obviously, when you look back at the Pirates season with the 16-0 lead in one game, 17-0 lead in the other game, but it just didn't materialize like that. And maybe that was that little thing that was missing, and maybe they found it. They at least found it for one game with that 56-34 win over the Temple Owls for homecoming. We were talking about Temple before we went on the air. Temple's not a great football team. We're not, any of us are saying that they're great, but they have some good athletes, and they are better than they have been in the past, I think.
They do. They have some athletes, offensively and defensively, and I think their coaches do a phenomenal job also. And like you said, sometimes there's just a couple things that go right or wrong, and it kind of pushes that game or that season in one direction. And you got to just be able to control what you can control and focus on those things.
It's quite a contrast between playing at Temple and playing in East Carolina, if you think about it. At Temple, you're in the middle of Philadelphia, PA. You play in an NFL stadium. Yep. You play in front of very, very few fans. It's vitally different than if you look at East Carolina. But we're in the same league, and we go by the same NIL rules and the same transfer portal rules. So, I mean, a team like Temple can catch lightning in a bottle pretty quick if they get some NIL. And I think that's what we continue to stress. And I know for some fans it's hard to imagine, but the NIL is now the lifeblood of a football program, isn't it?
It is, and you can bring all those pieces in, in the off season. But I think, me personally, I think it all goes back to cultivating the right culture. And so now more than ever, each year is such a different team.
Right.
In the past, it was okay. Your seniors left, and now you got 20 spots you got to fill or whatever it may be. But there's teams, that have maybe 40 new guys or 50 new guys. And so still cultivating that culture the right way is extremely important.
How would you have handled the NIL, the transfer portal as a player? Do you think back to that and think, would I have jumped ship? Would I have gone to, the greener pasture? Because there's greener pastures everywhere for all of these guys. And sometimes they're not quite as green as they think they are.
I don't think I'm very old school.
Yeah, because of your dad and your brothers.
Very old school,
yeah.
And so when I give somebody my word, I mean it, and I don't see the transfer portal, me personally, ever jumping in that. Now I would try to get maybe like a pasta deal for NIL or something, maybe like a free Thursday night pasta deal or something. But I try to get that avenue for sure.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. And when I first started with NIL and heard about it, I thought that's what it was designed to do, is to get the guys, a little spend money here or a little, dinner here, lunch here. Some of the things that weren't really allowed before, would be allowed now with the NIL. But somebody joked this weekend, the NIL stands for now it's legal. And basically that's what it's come down to. And I say it all the time. Everything SMU did to get the death penalty back in my day, is legal now.
Yep. Yeah,
and do it all.
And you and I were talking a little bit before about it. I mean, there's so many unknown avenues once NCAA kind of brought the NIL world out, which I'm all in favor for guys utilizing. And I think there was all these different pockets that we didn't know which way it was going to go and how all these other avenues that it could be utilized. And so now that we got some time, in the NIL world, I think, if we could just put a couple guardrails here and there to just kind of navigate it a little bit better for, coaches and staffs and really universities and everything like that.
But is it the NCAA that has to put the guardrails out? I mean, it's got to be at some point, but why haven't they done anything like that yet?
All of that is way above my
Yeah, me too.
Brother.
Yeah, I know. As a coach in recruiting, and I've always wondered about this too. So you go out, say if my son was a great safety playing for Rose High School, Conley High School, whatever, and you come to the house and you say, Mr. Baby, we're interested in your son. He's really an outstanding athlete. I think he's a good kid. He didn't take after you because he's really smart. That kind of thing. But at what point do we start talking NIL? Do you bring it up, or is it kind of one of those things that the head coach comes in and says, I think we can get you X amount of dollars, and how does that all play?
I think it's different based off of each staff. Myself personally, I don't have those conversations. I stay more of the old school recruiting route as far as, here's the information, here's, why we think you can be a good fit for us, here are some things you need to work on, and really not, putting all of that information in front of them, but kind of guiding them if they have those NIL type questions. But when it gets down to it, I kind of stay out of those specific conversations. But that may just be me, and some staffs may work a little different where they have those conversations all the time per position coach.
The other thing that I don't like about NIL is say in your room and you've got 8 guys that you're working with, if they start chatting with each other and one guy's playing really, really well, but he didn't get this much NIL, and the other guy's not playing so well and he got that much NIL, I mean, that can play. There's jealousies, there's all kinds of things that shouldn't be a part of what we're doing with college football.
That definitely happens, and I think it's happening across the country, but here's what the guys got to understand is, that's been going on for a long time in the NFL.
Right.
So, now that NIL is here in college football, we got to handle it the correct way, and we got to handle it like adults, and you got to put the product on the field in order to essentially be rewarded with your name, image, and likeness.
All right, that's enough on NIL, because I hate NIL. I hate the whole thing. I hate the whole concept. I mean, I do think the kids, like I always thought Holton Ahlers when he was at East Carolina, he deserves something. Mm-hmm. And the kids now on the team, a bunch of them, they deserve, something. But it just has come out to be such it's just to me, a nasty part of college football with, and I don't think it's right for, if I'm coaching another team and I say, hey, I might go after that safety you got's pretty good, and people can say they don't do it, but everybody does it. Yeah. I mean,
and I'm definitely all for NIL and players being able to make money. I mean, I think it's extremely good for them and to take some stress off of their lives.
Right.
There's guys that have, kids and stuff that they got to try to take care of, and being able to take away some of that stress for all their time and efforts that they're putting into, their work, I'm all for it. And I think just some guidelines and stuff and guardrails would help a little bit.
And there was a time that college athletes really couldn't work part-time. They couldn't do anything. I mean, it was so strict, and then there were stories about, guys that would get paid to go out and turn on the water at the golf course and then leave, and he get paid 8 hours and different things like that. In the SEC, everything's kind of a gray area. So,
yep.
but now, most of it is legal, but it's still, hard to finagle everything and get everything situated, and just, college football. I guess I'm old school where I always think it's more pure, obviously, than NFL. And basically, it's the NFL in a junior state now, almost.
There's a degree of that, absolutely. And, we'll see what the future holds as far as NIL and all of that going on. There's obviously, a ton of information and a ton of conversations going on behind closed doors that you and I aren't a part of. So
right.
I'm sure there's a lot more going on than I'm aware of.
All right, Damian Magazu, safeties coach at East Carolina. Let's talk about your room a little bit, talk about some of the players there. And you had a big play. Jamarlee Riddle comes up with the big one. Blake Harrell told us after the game that he had told Jamarlee, he said, remember that interception you ran back when I watched you play in high school? It was 50 yards. Give me one of those a day. And daggone if he didn't get one for 50 yards. That's pretty cool.
He delivered.
Yeah, he did deliver.
He's been phenomenal since he's been here, and watching him progress through fall camp and then week 1, week 2, week 3, and got his first start on Saturday. So, he's done a lot of work. There's still a lot more to go, but extremely proud of the young man he is character-wise, and then how he goes about his business for being a true freshman. And he's going to be a special guy, and there's a bunch of guys in that room that are going to be special.
Omar Rogers led the team in tackling against Simple. He had 8 tackles. He was all over the place, wasn't he?
Old man is flying around.
Yeah.
He's the old head of the group, and he's a savvy player. He's very intelligent and very physical. And so I always call him old man every time I see him. How you doing, old man? How's your knees and ankles? You doing all right, brother? So
I hear the same thing, but I don't think it's the same old man. But I hear very similar remarks as far as that goes. What about some of the other guys that we haven't seen? Some of the young kids that we'll see later on.
Yeah, you got Hines, D-Money, which he got some reps defensively on Saturday. He's doing a great job. Him and Jamarlee came in together, and you got 00, Omar Lewis from right down the road, and he hasn't gotten in defensely, but he's doing a really good job as far as progressing.
He was a great player at Tarboro. I had a chance to see him play a lot of games at Tarboro. He was good.
He's going to be a really good player, and he comes downhill, and he'll put his pads on you. And so, you got Kamari McKinley, and we got a bunch of young guys that Aiden Duncanson, who came in from UNC. And so there's a bunch of young guys that continue to develop and watch them work and progress, and they're going to be big-time players.
How hard is it to keep those young players interested and to keep them, patient, I guess is the best word there, patience?
I think each player is different. I think each young man, they obviously have their own personality and how they handle things, and I've found it, more productive having those one-off conversations and just going through kind of their progress, whether it's, each week and going through some tape with them and just making sure that they stay the course and, don't look so far out. They kind of just focus on, okay, what can I do today to get better?
Damon Magazu is our guest. We're going to take another commercial break. We've got him for about 12 or 13 more minutes. So we'll take another commercial break. Back with more with Coach Mags right after this.
The Honda CRF Red Hot Sales Event is going on now. That's right, Honda is celebrating its 2024 450 Supercross and Super Motocross Championships with deals as hot as the tracks they dominated. Get up to $1,000 in bonus bucks, a free Matrix swag kit, and low APR financing on 2024 and prior CRF competition models. Visit Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville for a red-hot deal on race-winning Honda CRF today. For your safety, read the owner's manual and wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
Need cash fast? National Finance Company is here to help. For over 50 years, National Finance Company has been the small loan specialist with loans from $1,000 to $5,000 with low payments to meet your budget. We're in the business of getting you the cash you need today. Apply online for a loan at one of our convenient branch offices and get your money as fast as today. It's easy. Get the cash you need. For extra cash, visit nfcmoney.com.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season, and that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time. It's bow time. Some classics never go out of style, like fresh egg, American cheese, and hickory smoked bacon on a made-from-scratch biscuit. But why stop there? Pair it with crispy bow rounds and a hot coffee or medium drink. Your morning deserves a breakfast that has it all. From the fluffy egg and crispy bacon to the melted cheese and, of course, a legendary Bojangles biscuit. That's the ultimate breakfast combo. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Pirate Radio.
They'll never forget the eccentric pirate Bonnet and his savage, insane, vengeful pirate horde. See, he's a pirate, a real proper pirate.
A proper pirate.
That man is a fearsome pirate if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely a pirate.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
NC State doesn't need to try to get all of it this down. 3rd down and 12. Wilson looking down the middle. Picked off! The freshman, Damon Magazu! And East Carolina has come up with a 33-27 victory!
How about that? I knew you had to be thinking, because I always bring it up, and you always say, "Man, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up." I'm not going to bring it up till near the end. But what a great, that has to go down. I was thinking about it this morning. The greatest play in Pirate football history that I thought of this morning while I was in the shower was the Jeff Blake pass to Luke Fisher for the touchdown against NC State. But I got to think the Magazu interception is close. It's got to be in the top 5, maybe number 2. What do you think?
All I know is that I am never going to hear the end of it from Coach Roy Tett back to the office in, 15, 20 minutes. I'm never going to hear the end of it from Coach
awesome.
Tett. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, Damon Magazu with the interception. Russell Wilson fires it in there. If you don't remember the game, it was in overtime. Pirates scored but missed the extra point. Yep. And how many times does that come back to haunt you in a game like that? And I think the whole Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium crowd was like, oh, they're going to score a touchdown, kick an extra point. And they go home a winner. And then out of nowhere, the freshman, Damon Magazu, comes up with the big INT. That was awesome. You kids can be able to hear that now, and they relive it. And that's just going to be that's part of Pirate lore, though. That really is.
The good Lord took care of us that day.
Yeah, and Magazu took care of the INT. I remember running on the field and trying to get the interview with you. I remember that too. That was exciting. But back in his playing days at East Carolina, now back as the safeties coach, and I hope Coach Tess does get on you for that.
He will.
He'll like that. All right. On Saturday, you guys made some changes as far as some of the coaches on the field. Blake obviously was on the field as the interim head coach. John David Baker was on the field as offensive coordinator. What do you think they felt like being on the field? Because it's a huge difference being on the field and being up in the booth. Some coaches like being on the field because they can see the players' eyes, they can go over stuff. Some people like to be up in the booth because they can see the whole field. Which is your preference?
There's pros and cons to both.
Right.
I've been on the field this season, and it is a different aspect is being able to look your guys in the eyes and kind of feel their energy too. Because sometimes if you're up in the box, you hit up somebody down on the field and you're like, hey, how's he looking? How's he feeling? And more so than just general stuff like what's his vibe down there? Is he doing okay? Is he getting a little too high, a little too low? And so obviously when you're up top, you're able to see big picture wise in real time what's happening. But it's a little different now that we have the iPads on the sidelines.
That was my next thought.
So now you get to see the big picture after every drive. So there's pros and cons to both, and I actually enjoy both of them. But here at ECU, being in Rowdy Dowdy, I do enjoy being on the sideline.
And we saw something that we've talked about with some of the other coaches earlier in the year about the communications going on. Now you can talk into a player's helmet. Mm-hmm. But early in the game, the Temple sideline went out, and that means the East Carolina sideline has to turn theirs off. How long did that last? Because they didn't ever announce when it came back on.
You know what? I don't know exactly how many plays or how long it lasted because, Coach Harrell's the one that's doing the communicating to the defensive guy, the green dot on the field. So I'm not exactly sure, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's why I think Coach Harrell's the one that said it earlier in the year. He said, we still have our signs, we still have everything because, you have to because you don't know. Technology's great, but it can fail. And we all know that it can fail. Did you ever see that story with the guy with the sign stealing?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
It's on my list for after the season.
It's fascinating. I mean, it really is. It's fascinating how, what he admitted to. I'm not sure if he admitted to everything, but what he admitted to and how they did it and that kind of thing was really fascinating. And some people say it's cheating and some people say it's gamesmanship. I mean, so it's kind of a gray area there. I mean, you can steal, and it's okay to steal signs if you do it in a certain way, but you can't, buy tickets and go on the sidelines of other teams. That's where it comes in. That's where the gray area becomes more, black and white.
So. And it's on the list right now. Me and Brittany are finishing up Vikings. So once that's
how's that?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah. you gotta bump it all the way up to number one.
I think what's the one that Melissa said something about Lioness. Lioness, I think, is the one that she said is really good. I need to start watching. It's funny because these days now, instead of just watching what's on TV, you go out and find these things. And if you find a good one, like the all-time best for me was Breaking Bad.
Okay.
I mean, that's just to me that was just fascinating to watch and to go through with the characters and that kind of thing. But then you get so many duds throughout the years.
You do. You got to work through. You got to filter through. I mean, Peaky Blinders.
Well,
that's up there.
That's up there. And when you have children, it changes too, doesn't it?
It does. So that's our adult time is when it's just me and Brittany and we're able to watch Vikings and all that stuff. So the kids are in bed at that point.
What are the kids like?
They watch everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we've got some of that at our house too. So sometimes it's we had the grandson in town this past weekend. That was a lot of fun. And
that's awesome.
Paw Patrol. Yeah, okay. I've never known much about Paw Patrol.
Now,
exactly. So, were you comfortable with Coach Harrell on the field? Did it cause anything at all with your guys' communications?
No, it didn't cause any issues with us defensively. And matter of fact, I thought it went really well, especially for the first time, at least this season, him being down and calling it. And, usually there's a lot of communication things you got to work through, but I thought it went fantastic with him down there.
One question that I was asked at the game, there were a couple of pass interference penalties that I thought both were bad calls. I thought one was a horrible call, and I heard the referee tell Blake, and he told one of the other assistant coaches that he said that the Pirate had pulled the Temple receiver's arm down, which I don't think the tape showed that. I didn't see it that way when I was watching it. But when are they taught to turn their heads around? Because that's got to be the biggest part of playing defensive back or safety or whatever. When you know that ball's coming, when do you turn your head?
Yeah, I mean, I always talk to my guys about when they see the V of the neck. So when they see the V of the neck turn, that means their shoulders are turning. Now we can turn into their body, get my eyes around, and play through the hands to break the basket, whether it's on the top field or whether it's a back shoulder throw.
No, okay. So did you see the two plays I'm talking about, the interference calls? What did you think? I mean, I know you can't say it was a horrible call, but, did you see what they saw? Or
I think there's always going to be hand-to-hand combat between receivers and DBs downfield. And I think if both guys are having hand-to-hand combat, combat. I think there shouldn't be a penalty thrown, but I'm also a defensive guy making.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you got one side of the deal that you're certainly looking at. As far as your preparation this week. Now you guys had off yesterday the entire day. You're going to practice a couple of days this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll continue on to our preparation, getting ready for next week, but really keeping the main thing, which is focusing on us. What do we need to get better at, and making sure that we get those corrections done this week and continue to progress each.
And I never thought about it this way until I think Coach Ruff is the one that brought it up. But when you play a Thursday game, then your Monday is a Thursday, and then your Thursday is a Saturday, and it's a whole different calendar when you're leading up to that game. You guys haven't gotten to that point yet because you're still in this pretty much an off week. But when you get to that point, that's basically what it is.
It is. I mean, and we're really 10 days out. So in a couple of days, we'll really start game week as far as the calendar or the actual day of the week isn't Sunday, but it's going to be a Sunday for us. Like you're saying, you count backwards. Thursday will be a Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, and so forth. And so we got a couple days really before game type week starts.
When you get your guys back now, what are some of the things you want to work on from the Temple game to get better going forward?
Just some of the details with our eye discipline and understanding, where we fit. As far as some of our zone coverages, I got to do a better job of getting them in the right spots. But I think making sure our eyes are in the right space will help eliminate all that.
You hear a lot about that eye discipline from all the defensive players, don't you?
You do. I mean, if you see a little, you see a lot. And so I've heard Coach Tesh talk to his guys about that. What that means is you're so zoned in on that specific key with your eyes, and so as soon as that key moves one way or the other, now you can pull the trigger and play fast. When sometimes you got big vision, you're seeing too much, and you can't really pull the trigger where you need to go.
Sounds good. Damian Magazu, our guest today. Last week about this time, you came in, gave me a big hug. Certainly appreciated that. First time in Brian Bailey Show history that somebody came in when they weren't supposed to be on with me and gave me a big hug from the coaching staff, so I certainly appreciate that.
Well, I apologize. I texted everybody. Right. I said, sorry,
no, it was great.
Sorry for jumping in, but I heard the news on Sunday, and so I wanted to stop by and make sure you were doing all right. I
was doing just fine. We appreciate your friendship too, my man.
Brother. Always.
Damian Magazu, safeties coach at East Carolina, great player at East Carolina Pirate history, part of Pirate history and Pirate lore for Pirate football. Damian Magazu. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll come back with some final thoughts for you right after this.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Did you know that GUC's utility rates are not only low in the region, but also the state? That's right. When you combine the average electric, water, wastewater, and natural gas into one bill, only people in 2 of the 15 largest cities pay less than GUC customers. Only 2. Low rates and high reliability. Working in the best interest of the community rather than shareholders. That's the value of public utilities. That's the value of GUC.
Bostic Sugg Furniture's 87th anniversary sale is a pretty big deal, and so are the savings. Shop special anniversary savings on Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Maven. Best Serta, Helix, Ultra Comfort lift chairs, and more. Special savings on closeout accessories. Framed art values to $350, now $69. Buy any table lamp, get a matching one free. And in celebration of our founding in 1937, get local delivery for $19.37 during the 87th anniversary sale at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Construction.com. Go Pirates.
Big game season is here, and I'm not just talking about Pirate football. Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. We're ready to blast the cannons in the stands and the fields. You know what I mean. Get ready with us. Take your pick from the largest selection in Eastern NC. Grab a rifle on a scope, and we'll mount and bore sight it for you. Don't forget Springfield's Gear Up promo. Buy a 2020 Waypoint, get a 2020 Rimfire Target rifle for free. Stay tuned in weekly as we shoot through fall with the best deals around. Shop online or stop by Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Let me tell you what's going on this month, October, at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We have up to $10,000 off our Ram 2500s. Yes, that's right, up to $10,000 off our Ram 2500s. Also with that, we also have 3.9% financing for 72 months on our Jeep Wagoneers and have an amazing selection. So come check us out at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
You kind of look like a pirate with that thing on your shoulder.
A pirate? Oh, cool. You should get a pirate name.
And a peg leg.
And a hook hand.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. We want to thank Damon Magazu, one of the all-time best at East Carolina. And I always bring up the interception against State, and he always kind of blushes and says, "Man, don't do that. Don't mention that." So I think he was surprised that I hadn't mentioned it until we finally did. But he's a great sport, and as we said, he came in last week, gave me a big hug when I was coming back from my little illness from the Army weekend. All right, let's talk a little NFL football before we go at the top of the hour. Clip Brock, I know you're excited about the Hail Mary. I'm just glad that a couple of Cowboys came up with that term, Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson. So now you know what it's called, the Hail Mary. And another Cowboy was involved. The receiver that caught the ball is a former Cowboy, Noah Brown. So you had Cowboys all over that thing.
So really, we're celebrating the Cowboys today.
No, we're not.
Congratulations,
actually. If you stayed up late, you know we're not celebrating the Cowboys today. But what I was going to say, because I felt kind of bad that the Commanders were going to lose to the Bears, which they should have, but I didn't feel that bad. But what I was going to say is the Commanders are playing such good football that it's going to make all the second half of the season just that much better in the NFC East, because and now maybe because of my team it may not be as good, but the Eagles are playing well, the Commanders are playing well. If the Cowboys can turn things around and get healthier, which I think they can get back into this thing. But I used to spend my childhood watching the Cowboys play, rooting for them, and watching the Redskins play and rooting against them, and that's basically what I did all my life. And so
I thought about a couple of things. First of all, we still got Dallas twice and Philly twice.
Right.
So we barely haven't done anything. We got all those games left. I also thought about how awesome it was that I'm having so much fun with my team, and my team is winning so many games. I'm not as concerned about what Dallas is doing. I fell asleep last night during the game and didn't really care.
So did Dallas, third quarter.
Yeah, sounds like it. But part of my Sundays were, rooting against Dallas almost as much as I rooted for my team. But now that we're winning, it's like I don't care as much. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Dak's first year when everything Dallas did was right. Now, they didn't have a Hail Mary like that one. And I think when you look at that Hail Mary, they must be really – that Hail Mary may cost the Bears more than just one loss, because there's got to be a lot of talk about how they handled that play with the defensive back, almost out of bounds when the play starts, chirping at fans and nothing on that play – worked defensively like it was supposed to.
They had a quarterback spy. You just talked about it. During the break. Why are you doing a spy on a Hail
I was
Mary?
trying to see if they rushed 3 or 4. They rushed 3, and they had a spy. And the spy never really rushed the quarterback. So that's one player.
He might as well have been on the sideline.
Yeah, that's one player that could have helped out. He did tweet. I just flashed it on TV. The tweet that the guy put out, apologizing for everything. And he should apologize. I mean, he ought to be fine.
He's not cut.
Yeah, he ought to be cut. Fined by the Bears.
I believe it was the same idiot that put his finger through a face mask and got a 15-yard penalty that Terry McLaurin was on the sideline saying, "You ain't bleeding."
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
It turns out Terry McLaurin was right. He ain't bleeding.
He ain't.
To Chicago, my teammates, my apologies for lack of awareness and focus. The game ain't over till zeros hit the clock. Can't take anything for granted. Notes taken. Improvement will happen.
Yeah.
He's taking notes.
Notes taken. The best part about it, I told you guys this before we went on the air, the best part of a play like that, we were at tiebreakers, and I didn't know how many people were actually watching that game. It was the sound was on for it.
It was the only game on at that point, I believe. Everything else had ended.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it was that, but I wasn't sure how many people were actually paying attention.
Right.
But when they connected on that Hail Mary, the place erupted, and it was really. It was really cool, and I told you this off the air. I can't wait to talk to my man Ken Watlington, who's another big Commodores fan, to see if he actually saw it, because I would bet big money that he had given up already and turned it off.
Bailey already took the minus 160 that no, he did not see it live.
That's right.
Bailey's
I'm in for that.
We'll hear his reaction Wednesday
coming
on
up
Pirate
Wednesday.
Radio Live.
Yeah, that'll be good. What were your thoughts on the homecoming win? Obviously, the fifth quarter probably was a little bit better, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was. Started slow, but ended up with 30-plus calls, which is a good number, and people were excited. Hey, I heard you talking to Damon about what's left the rest of the year. I think the Pirates absolutely have a good shot to go to a bowl now. But if they have found an offense with Hauser and you can put up points and hang with teams like that, I mean, hell, they could run the thing. I mean, I was very excited to see this offense clicking the way it was on Saturday.
I usually don't look at the message boards very often. I used to look at them more, but I've kind of figured that a lot of it's just silly talk. But whenever we have a coaching change, I usually look at it for entertainment purposes. And I was reading one of the threads that was ripping Pirate Radio and ripping Holton for saying that if Blake Harrell runs the table and wins a bowl game, that he's going to get the job. I believe 110% that is true. I'm on record as saying that. Now, it may not happen. It's John Gilbert's decision.
Yeah.
Chancellor Rogers is going to be part of that decision, I would think. But if Blake comes in here and can do that, North Texas is going to be favored to beat East Carolina. Navy's obviously going to be favored to beat East Carolina. But if they somehow come through and win all those games and go to a bowl game and win the bowl game, I don't know how you don't give him the job. And that's just NIL or whatever you want to say, experience with NIL and this and that. The NIL money will come if you're winning, but if you're not winning, it's not coming, and that's why a change was made, because evidently it wasn't coming. And I just think that, the message boards are
I tell you what, people get emotional about coaching searches because if you say a guy's name somebody doesn't like, they're going to crush you.
Oh, yeah, they'll kill you.
It's hilarious.
And I think there are some good names out there. I've talked to a couple of people, but the worst part about when you know some of these people and you call them and they call you back and they say, look, don't mention you talk to me. I'm like, well, that defeats the purpose. Yeah. Because I'll call you if anything happens. So the people that I've talked to, some of the names you've heard, haven't heard anything. I don't think there's been any calls yet. Maybe some calls to some agents, maybe to put some feelers out and that kind of thing. But I think we're very early in the process, and I think that these seniors deserve, a big send off. I think the Pirate fans that showed up on Saturday for homecoming did a great job. They were into the game, and the Pirates gave them something to cheer for.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's part of it too. If if they keep putting up 50 and having games like this, people will want to show up and have fun.
And you look at right before the half, when you get that big play right there, because, a lot of times I've seen East Carolina football where they would take a knee right there and just go into the half, down by a point. But they took a chance. And I was actually sitting with the family at that time, and when he threw that ball, I knew the receiver was open, but it took about 35 seconds for that ball to come down, it seemed like. I mean, that ball was way up in the air, and he dropped it right in the breadbasket for the touchdown. And then the Pirates were off and running. And Rajay took the bull by the horns in the second half and got that big run to start things off. I think that set the tone for the second half. Yeah. And then Rajay scored the touchdown, and the Pirates were on their way to victory number 4. 4-4 on the year. Florida Atlantic comes to town a week from Thursday. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane on the road the next Thursday. And then the Pirates head to North Texas for a road game, and then it's the Navy Midshipmen to close out the year. So the season's going to wind up quick. Now I hope the Pirates do go to a bowl game, and I hope that able to go and for these seniors and enjoy. That would be 3 bowls in 6 years, and And that's almost unheard of late at East Carolina. So you've got that. Well, I've got a chance. I want to thank everybody at East Carolina, Brian Meador and Justin Bear and Greg Pierce and J.J. McLam and John Gilbert and everybody that made it possible for the video tribute on the board in the fourth quarter. It was a total shock to me. I had no idea. You don't know what that feeling is when you look at the big screen and you see your picture up there and you're like, uh-oh. What did I thought I was wanted for something or something. It popped up like that. And when the cannon shot came up, I thought, I wonder what we're doing with that. I thought it was part of a promo that maybe we had done for something else. And then when it started going, Morgan Ayler told me today he ad-libbed a couple of things, but he was really, really very nice with some of the things that were said in the script, some of the things that he said, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it was really cool to see people stand up and clap for you. So that was really neat.
I'm working on some. I got to get to work now on some audio. We're gonna try to make Brian Bailey cry at least once a month from here on out.
I swear, if you check the tape, I didn't cry on Saturday. Now I did cry the other night for that 40th because I didn't expect Melissa to be there. Melissa hates to be in the spotlight, hates to be on TV, and Ken Watlington basically interviewed her on that, and I was cracking up because I know how bad she hates that. Bella loves it, by the way. She was good with it. She's fine with it, but
like going to Dollar Tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And she told everybody
I watched
that
the
too.
video with because I showed my wife Saturday night what they did for you in the stadium, and then we went back and watched the NCT thing again, and I get choked up watching it because Ken gets choked up. And then you get choked up, and then I get choked up.
Yeah, and I've been there a long time, and it's one of those things that, these days a lot of people when they leave, they put together these montages, and they'll be there 6 months, and they'll put together a 2-minute montage, and I'm thinking, he haven't done anything. So I never think about that. And then when Kim was telling me, he said, we got something planned for you. And when he told me on that Wednesday night, not to prepare a sportscast, just to come out there and we got something for you. I thought, you got 14 minutes worth of something for me? This ought to be good. But it was really nice, and it was something special. So now we try to make it to year number 41. That's our next goal. 41. All right, let's close it out. I want to thank once again Damon Magazu, safeties coach at East Carolina, for his time. Pirates this Saturday are off. They play Florida Atlantic a week from Thursday. Don't forget, that's the blackout game, so everybody will be in black, and we'll see you next week right here on The Brian Bailey Show. Have a great sports week, everybody.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sug, Bojangles, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.